Hello there. And we are live. See, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you people, yeah, but I'm beginning to feel good about this matchup, yeah, because I'm hearing every other thing coming out from the Crystal Palace camp, yeah. It might be a good day for Arsenal. Let's see. Let's just, I don't know, but I think I'm feeling good.
Sing it, Tony. Sing it.
Bum bum, bum bum. See, yeah, guys. See, no other person is with me in the Crystal Palace versus Arsenal preview. Yeah, Ohana, my big guy, my friend, my guy. See, yeah, it's not a person in the Dal and Cloud Show, episode 3, season 1. Po po po.
Oh,
Give it up for
let's
the
go.
Oreguna.
What's
Oregon
up,
Guna.
man?
His name was Dal. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I'm
Mm,
very anxious for today because I think this game sets the tone for the next few weeks coming up.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm jazzed about it. But I'm still a little bit nervous because I don't want to see Thomas Party at right back.
straight
You know,
away. That's the first thing.
straight away.
See, Dow, yeah. See, Dow, this is why I like your person. Yeah. Eh, Direct shot, yeah. There's no there's no hiding, yeah. You call
Yeah,
it when it hurts. Yeah.
yeah,
That's the first thing I don't want to see today. Thomas Partey at right back. See, we'll be going into all these issues later on, yeah. First of all, of course, it's customary that we have to hail the people who are in the charts, yeah?
of
The
course, of
people
course.
who love us down here, that they're all up here in the charts. Oregon Gunner says, "Po po po." See, Oregon Gunner, welcome to the show, man. See, guys, yeah, fresh from celebrating his 4K subscribers on YouTube. This hard worker of a man, yeah, is in his 60s, but it looks like in his 30s.
30s. Yeah, exactly.
Ready to work. See, guys, no other person than Jess Collins of the Arsenal history and more. A godfather to me down here on YouTube, yeah. So, po, po, po to Jess Collins, yeah. Big ups. And he's
Sure.
always coming down here, to check on his flock, to check on his people, yeah, to make sure that everything is going fine. Wolfgang Division is also here on the
Yeah,
show, yeah. Wolfgang Division, po, 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 is in the house. See, yeah, many other people will be coming through. And of course, the true Journey herself, Mama Flossie, she just came in. See, yeah, Oracle Guna, it looks like today might be, it might be one of those days for me and you to
yeah,
chew on something because the big hitters are already coming in.
definitely,
See,
definitely.
now Crystal Palace,
Mhm.
Arsenal. What are your expectations of this matchup before we go into the nitty gritty, the technical analysis and everything or whatnot? Just tell me what you expect from this match. After all, you're a gooner, yeah, and as a
Yeah.
gooner, you definitely have aspirations and ideas of how this game
Sure.
should go. Please just hit us with that first of all. Just give us
I
the
just
straight jab first.
I just want to dominate from beginning to end. I want them to have 20% possession. I want to pepper their goal, and I want to win 4 or 5-0. But I don't think
Mm,
that's going to happen because Arteta doesn't enable that to happen so much,
mm,
right? We may come out the gates flying, get a 1-0 lead, and then we may pull back for a while, and then we may attack again and pull back. I don't know. Arteta doesn't know. Maybe someone in the chat can tell us what to expect today. But my expectation and my standard is to possess the ball, make the right runs, pass the ball, and get it in the box and put it in the back of the net. That's my expectations. No other.
mm,
I expect a win
mm,
today. I don't expect a draw. I certainly don't expect a loss.
mm.
Uh, and I expect him to pick the right lineup, which again, I was saying the last week before, that's the part where I'm most concerned
That's
about.
the biggest topic, right?
It's like
Mm,
we've just brought in 3 signings, well, two, right, with Timber injured. So these are the 2 players Arteta has spent, a lot of money getting in a Havertz and Rice,
yeah.
you know, either play him or don't. I don't want to see Havertz. Havertz is not in my starting 11 because to me, he was purchased as an impact player. When Odegaard runs out of speed, runs out of gas, Havertz is the number 10. He's not a
But, but,
striker. He's not a
but
winger.
wait,
He's not a left mid. He's a
See,
number
see,
10.
we might be getting this all wrong, yeah. Do you bring in an impact player for 65 million pounds?
No, but that's the
It's
reverse
incredible
psychology. That's where we're
because when
at.
you say as an impact sub or something like that, do
Sure.
you buy him for 65 million pounds?
Maybe that's what the market is today, Tony. I mean, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it would have 40 million pounds or 45 million. So again, I think with the price, we're forgetting that we're paying inflated prices because across the world of football, everyone's paying inflated prices. So those 100 million Declan Rices and 100 million Neymars is going to put a Havertz at 65 million just because the market's all out of whack. We know that he's a $30 million player tops from what we've seen at
Tops,
Chelsea
tops.
and what we've
I
seen.
reckon Gunner's cooking.
Right. Pull. Let's go. He's a
It's
30 to
cooking.
35 million player tops with
Mm,
a good upside, but he hasn't shown
mm,
that, right? He didn't show that at 4 years at Chelsea. But remember, he went there when he was like 19 years old. So we've
yeah.
still got him at 23 years old with a lot more potential. So when you look at it at 65 mil for a top German international, let's be
Mm,
honest, and for his somewhat success at Chelsea in the Premier League for 4 years, I guess 65 million that's what gets you. Now
mm,
he's underperformed over and over and over in a blue shirt. But in preseason, we saw a different kind of habits. We saw him doing things that we want him to do. But now it's
mm.
up to Arteta to take the preseason, look at it as a blueprint, and use that going forward. Because we're going to have a plan A, obviously, for today. Maybe not a plan B if we can get some goals, right? And settle in a bit. But we're going to have a plan A and a plan B for United next week. And that's where I start to worry that
See
this
now, even
weekend was
today.
shit, and all of a sudden we go out there and we're 2-0 down to a crap United team because he can't make man management decisions correctly.
Man management decisions. Yeah,
That's what it's about.
exactly. And I've been echoing this thing since this week. Yeah, because I've been seeing even Jets, who I respect so much, he called it that Arsenal was going to win it a little bit comfortably. And, you know, personally, I have my own ideas about
Right.
how it might go. Because, see, yeah, I don't know my my back four right now. Just
Sure.
last week, because see, yeah, Arsenal fans, we just seem to forget everything quickly if a
Right.
win comes in. Yeah, we just seem to fizzle through the whole thing and just see. Thomas Partey started at right back.
Mm,
We have a
that's what I'm saying.
special player in Benjamin White, brought in here from Brighton for big money. Yeah, centre back,
Mm-hmm.
towering centre back for English centre back. Yeah, brought in from Brighton, played in that central defence role. Total garbage. Yeah, re-employed him into the right back position,
Mm-hmm.
and then he started to find a new lease of life. Started seeing
Right.
something different. We did that. That's good. And I'm okay with that. But see, Dahlia, he has to
Mm-hmm.
start at right back because that's the
Yeah.
place he's been playing for over 1 year. He knows how to echo that position. He's made that position his own. He has found some kind of integration and some kind
Mm-hmm.
of chemistry with Saka down that line. So
Right.
why tinker with the whole thing? Good. Now we have a centre back in Gabriel Magalhaes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course, we know what happened last week, yeah? This guy has been at least kind of a loyal servant to us, right? Over
Right.
the years that he's been here. In the first game of the season, you put him on the bench. You bring
Mm-hmm.
someone else into the fray. Yeah? And this centre back, the next day, after dropping him on the bench, he's been linked to Saudi Arabia. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if we do think that these players are robots, yeah, but for me, they're human. They think, they feel like we do. What do you think will be going through Gabriel Magalhaes' mind, his psyche, as a top centre back at Arsenal
Yeah,
who
for
can
sure.
get a sniff of a start in the first game of the season? Yeah,
Because
and then
Arteta put in there.
Julian Timber is injured. So our
Right.
back four right now,
Right.
people are seeing it the way I'm seeing it. Maybe we should start taking the blue pill a little bit to see things a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
clearer. Our back four isn't what people perceive it to be right now. I need balance. Do you need balance in that back four today?
Yes, I want to balance the back four, and it's Arteta's fault if there's no balance in the back four. Why mess up something that's not broken?
Hmm.
Right? if he doesn't fancy Kieran Tierney, we know he's been on the outs for over a year now, right? That's no surprise. Let the kid go if you're not going to use him because it's taking up real estate on the bench. It's costing us money to have someone who he's probably not even interested in being at Arsenal anymore. I mean, I would have, if you saw, I mean, Kieran Tierney is like Juminho said, is probably like seventh pick down the line at this
Down
point,
the
right?
line.
I mean, it's
Back.
ridiculous the way Kearney's being treated, but that treatment kind of blends into Gabriel and Ben White, right?
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like you're breaking you're trying to fix something that's not broken is what Arteta's
Broken.
trying to do, right?
Hmm.
So okay, you're not gonna play Kieran Tierney. Zinchenko's his man. Zinchenko seems to be back. I haven't seen the lineup. I don't think it's out yet, but I'm thinking Zinchenko's going to start today. But if we don't see the players in their natural positions, then that's when the questions to Arteta really become, like more relevant because it's like win the league, but win it with players that know what they're doing and positions that
Hmm.
are natural to them. Because we
True.
saw what happened last season. I mean, we were out the gates. I think we won the first 8 games of the season. And
True.
we kept the same lineup. We inverted
Hmm.
Zinchenko, and what do you
Hmm.
know? It worked. It's not our most favorite thing to do, right? We don't feel as old Gooners that the inverted style always works the best because we know that it leaves gaps, right?
Yeah.
So it comes down to if Gabriel decides that he's going to go to Saudi Arabia, which if they show him, 450,000 pounds a week or whatever, he's got a family to take care of, right? I mean, it's
He
like
got a supermodel to take care of too.
now
This
what
guy's not
Arteta's
moving.
done is even put more of a question in his head by not starting him against Forest. Now, did he not start him because he was ill or had a slight knock or something? Or is he not starting him because he's like, well, you're talking to these guys from Saudi Arabia? And if that's the case, then that's on Arteta again and his ego. The players are going to talk to other clubs. Players are going to start talking to the Saudi Arabian league. Laporte linked to Arsenal. Where'd he go? Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
A big player right now in world football. They want to build this league. And Gabriel Margalhaes is probably one of the second or third best defenders in the Premier League that the Saudis want to point at him and take him. They'll get him.
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
I think there's a lot less loyalty now in football, especially over the last 3 or 4 years with the inflation of the world game going up, right?
Yeah.
So going back to Gabriel though, he needs to start. To me, he's the key center back.
Key player. Key
Him and
sentiment.
Saliba are key to us winning games and defending properly. I don't have
Hmm.
any trust in Kiwior yet. He's probably really good. During Timber, obviously that's not even up for discussion. I don't, what's there to talk about? He's injured for the next 6 months. But so Gabriel, I think in that instance, to see Timber injured, he needs to step up. But maybe there's something going on with him and Arteta. But it's very strange, and I agree. You're right that he didn't start the Forest game. That was a very weird decision, and
Hmm.
it could have cost us. It really
Yeah.
could have cost
Exactly.
us, right? And
Exactly. See.
we'll have
Okay.
to see what he picks today in the next few minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But see, Wolfgang is still down there with us. Jez is still with us. Live
So,
to Inspire is still with us.
yeah,
Jamil just entered into the picture. Jamil Anthony Herbert, my
we got
guy, just entered into the picture too. All these big hitters are all coming in when the show, has just started welling up to a crescendo. See, crescendo will give them right now, Oregon Guna. See, Oregon, I want you to look at this, yeah. Last weekend, Chelsea Football Club, yeah,
yeah,
they lost their matchup against West Ham. Me and you talked about it personally
we
yesterday
did.
when we were watching each other. Manchester United beating black and blue by our noisy neighbours, Tottenham Hotspurs, at the
Mm,
lane. Yeah, we
sure.
have these two big teams, two English teams. Maybe one is not royalty, but at least they're royalty because they've won two Champions League, right? Then the
Mm-hmm.
other one, pure royalty in English football, Manchester United. These two have lost their games. Does this put Arsenal in a very, very pressurized position right now to actually win that matchup today? Is there any pressure at all today for Arsenal to win this matchup?
There better be. They better feel pressure, right? I mean,
Hmm.
From what I've seen of Chelsea, and I think what everybody else has seen, they're not going to finish probably in the top 8. If they continue on playing like they are, Pochettino cannot save them. They're a bunch of, to me, they're just a bunch of names thrown together to create a team
Thrown together.
something cohesive. But we can tell that it's obviously not working right now.
Hmm.
Who's to say they can't kick on later in the season? But I think by that time they'll be too far down the table. Man United are just playing pinball football. They can't trap a ball. They can't pass a ball. I don't know. I think to be honest, I think United's in a bit worse of a mess than Chelsea is because I think Pochettino has better organization skills than Ten Hag and has more experience, obviously, in the Prem than Ten Hag. But in the long run, did Pochettino really do anything that special with Tottenham? Not really.
Not really, right?
Not really. I
No.
mean, he got them playing some pretty good
I mean, he
football.
took them to the Champions League final, right? In its own right.
No, yeah,
That's
but there was a
to
lot of fate
Tottenham.
in that.
That's something huge. After all, Arsenal have only been to one European final,
Right.
that Champions League final. So of course you have to give that to him. Took them to a Champions League
Well,
final, right? That's a
yeah,
big one.
but nobody remembers second place, right? You know,
Definitely,
I
right?
mean, that was one of the worst finals I've seen. Was it 1-0 Liverpool in the 85th minute or something like that? I mean, that was a joke of a game.
It was a
Um,
joke of a game, right?
but
Mm.
I think that with if they fire Pochettino, like even Wolfgang is saying he has 2 games, that very well may be, but I don't know who they're going to bring in, who's going to put together this whole hodgepodge of shit with 23 players they have now with Caicedo, I believe.
See,
How do you manage all those egos and
mm,
different playing styles? And every player has their own thoughts of how they view the game, and it's going to be
yeah,
interesting how Pochettino gets them together in the next few weeks. But as for Man United, I'm anxious for them next week, as long as
yeah,
Arteta gets the lineup right. So
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
there's pressure. There's
Guys,
pressure, Tony. There's pressure every week, man. To go back to your
yeah,
question, there's pressure every
yeah.
week. I mean, Man City's not going to stop. They started. People say they start out slow. Well, they haven't started out slow yet.
They haven't
You
started
know,
slow. It's two
Brighton look
wins
like
in two
they're a
games.
bit, and
2 wins
Newcastle
in
are
two
going to
games. There's nothing
Newcastle.
slow about that. Nothing
Yeah,
slow about
Newcastle need
that.
a little bit of
See,
fluidity,
a
and they'll
big
be
hitter
there.
just see 2 big hitters just came into the show. Yeah, another
Yeah,
person, Tony Ibarra. It's in the
Tony,
house, guys. Tony Taib is also in the house too. Boom, boom,
Tony.
boom. Tony Ibarra. See, another person, Tony. Ellie Doors, Football TV. It's the gathering of the Tonys, yeah? I'm sorry, Oregon Guna, man. You're not Tony. You should be Tony, man. The old Tonys gathering together and having a clan meeting down here, yeah.
A lot of
See,
Tonys in the
big ups to
arsenal.
you. Big ups to you, Ellie Doors, yeah. Big ups to you, man. Thanks for showing up. Tony Ibarra, big ups to you, too. Mama Flossie is also down here, too. See, Oregon Guna, yeah. Do you, how do I frame this? How do I frame this? Where would you like to see Kai Havertz play in today's game? We know he's going to start. We know he brought this guy for £65 million to his head. That's why it's ringing to our heads. We're looking at him like, oh, he can't impact much. He might be a flop. Is this, is that? But to Mikel Arteta's mind, he's my signing. I have to put him in. I have to make him change games. I have to show the people I
Yeah.
haven't gassed on this one. After all, Eddie Nketiah, who we know has failed in this team in a way, yeah, he still
Mm.
manages to put him in the game because he can't just take it that his signing or his resigning isn't
Mhm.
just button. What where's your stand with this Kai Havertz thing in this today? Today against
um,
Crystal.
as today, just in this game in particular, I think you just. I know people are going to slay me for this, but you bring him on, later in the game when Odegaard's dead, because I don't know of any other position he can really play besides like a number 10. He's not a striker, like he's not really a winger. He's not a he's probably signed as the Granit Xhaka replacement, but he's not doing Granit Xhaka things already. And he didn't do
Mm,
much Granit Xhaka things in preseason. That's what we're relying on Declan Rice to be the cleanup man and
yeah.
Havertz to arrive late in the box. But you know, it's a tough one, Tony. There's parts of me that I feel like he's going to start, which I don't. He's not in my first 11, um, but I do see him being somewhat useful coming on for Odegaard in maybe the 72nd minute or something like that, and providing some energy and legs,
Oh, so
and
you
at
don't
least
see him
a
starting
shot
today?
or two.
You don't see him
What's that?
starting today?
Who is starting today? We know that.
You don't see him starting today?
No, yes, because Arteta is going to make that move. He's going to make that decision. Not what I
Mm.
want, but I do. I think he's gonna play Havertz. He's gonna play Nketiah up front, and these are the reasons why we're talking about this stuff, because we think and we know in our hearts and our minds that it's wrong, that these players don't deserve to be in the starting 11, and in Nketiah's case, not even to be in the
Mm.
club, right? So we just know that it's
Mm.
wrong because we all have seen the success of last season with those players that brought us, to second place last season. With there was games that we dropped, obviously dropped some points. It cost us. We bottle it, whatever, and we move on. But I don't know
Mm.
why he doesn't use that same blueprint, Tony, to like say, oh, this is the same lineup that brought me, like I said, 6, 7, 8 games in a row wins last season. Maybe that'll work. But then he starts messing with his own mind. Like having to
Yeah, with
fit
his own
Havertz
mind and thinking with the
built
whole
into his
thing.
contract that he has to have so many games. Like Jez has said in his show, maybe Havertz has to have so many minutes, so many games, that sort of thing. But if that's the case, then to me that takes a lot of power out of the
Mm.
manager's hands. If players are all, if you have a team that's that have all these
Yeah.
body rules in their contracts, and that eliminates a lot of the management ties because they have more power than they should have as players. But I think he's probably going to start on the left side in a 4-3-3. It'll be a mistake, but if he scores a goal or two, it won't be a mistake. But that's the nervousness and the edge I feel as an Arsenal fan all the time. And I've really kind of done feeling that way. We have the players, we have the money. I just don't see why he can't get a good 11 in that he knows that'll work. And I think you're frozen. Hello, everyone. I think Tony's frozen. Anyway, big up Wolf.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Okay,
I'm back.
fantastic.
Sorry, man. The Sorry, my connection. They don't want to stop telling the truth today. See, let's look. See, let's go into that Crystal Palace game. Yeah, let's actually talk. Let's actually talk. Mainstay football.
Sure.
See, what do you think the battle would be today? Of course, Roy Hodgson, an experienced manager. Yeah, coming in today. Mikel
Sure.
Arteta was saying something like, "If you want to beat Roy Hodgson, you have to be and think like Roy Hodgson." See, where are the battle maps for you in this matchup today? Where do you think we'll really see much of the battle? Do you think it's going to be at the midfield? Yeah,
Mm,
where of course Palace got Anderson down there doing things for them. They might also be pairing Decore and Lemar in the middle of the
mm,
park with Olise topping it up at the top of that diamond. They could go that route with Edward. Yeah, physical, very very physical player, ready to brush players off. They have Ward at right back. They have the players to kind of like bring out the physicality in them.
right.
What do you think? And mind you, Crystal Palace have one of the most vociferous fans in the league. I've been there. I've
Yeah.
watched football
Oh,
there.
have you?
Small,
Yeah.
intricate stadium. Yeah, Arsenal don't like small, intricate stadiums that are more connected with their fans. Yeah, that's
Mm,
what Crystal Palace brings to the table. It's a legitimate London derby. Yeah, let's don't get it twisted.
hmm
Yeah, it's a London side. Arsenal's a London side. They will go
Right.
head to head today. I don't like going to Crystal Palace because I just feel that it's a little bit of a boogie place to go. But
It's
where do
a
you think will
different
be the
place.
hit map today?
Well, I think that you got it right about in the midfield. They have Decore and what's his name? I think Jefferson Lerma, who's a pretty physical player as well. Edouard's a physical striker, and they're pretty organized in the back, right? I think they have a center
Hmm.
back who we're looking at, Gilio, if that's his name, Gil. Maybe somebody correct me.
Gehi. They have Gehi or
Get,
Gechi. Yeah, yeah. They
yeah,
have Anderson. They have Ward also at right back,
right.
and at
That's
left
right.
back they have Mitchell. Yeah,
Yeah, I think they're Joaquin Anderson's a good defender. I mean, he's played in several, I think
he's a
3 or 4
good
different
one.
clubs,
He's a very
France,
good one.
Italy, and so forth. So they'll be organized, but I don't think they have the how do I say, they'll have strength, but they won't have the athleticism to, I think, keep up with our attacking four, right? If Nketiah can move in and around the
Hmm.
box, presuming we're starting with the same 11 as Forrest, right? Presuming we're starting with that same 11. If Nketiah can be mobile in the box, I think he can snip a goal here and there. But anything outside the box, I think we're going to be looking for fouls. They're going to be looking to just knock us off the ball. So I think maybe a bit we still go in for attack, but we just you take the hits, take the falls in the box, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to have our backs like Kai Havertz. I don't want him at the ball at midfield with his back towards their goal and then them defending and just knocking him over, taking the ball and going. I think the counterattack is going to be very difficult for us to deal with if we have Havertz
Yeah.
trying to defend right on that left side. And they have Iwu, who I
Yeah.
rate as a pretty decent winger, right? If he gets the ball, he can cut in really quickly and easily score a goal. So it's gonna be a difficult game, but I think, like I said before, if we just really press them up the pitch, control the ball, control the tempo, we can get out of there 2-0, 3-0, 3-1 was my prediction. But it's going to be a battle in the midfield, and we're going to have to take some fouls. We're just going to have to learn to maybe slow the tempo
Yeah.
down a bit.
Yeah. And of course,
Some fouls, so
their midfield three, it's likely going to be Dakore, Lemar, and of course, Eze. Eze was to go to Chelsea under a week ago, yeah?
right.
Uh, he turned his back, showed loyalty in the club that has fought for him all these years, put pen to paper on a new deal. Do you think he has a bone to pick? Do you think he needs to show that, you know what? Crystal Palace just gave me a new contract. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll give them a good show today. Do you
Mm,
think this dynamic can actually bring any heat for Arsenal today?
well, I think Easy. Are you talking about Easy or Olisi? Olisi.
Olise, Olise.
He's injured. He's injured till September. He's out today.
Oh, Olise. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. I'm talking of Eze. Sorry,
Eze. Okay,
Eze.
yeah, no, Eze's a top attacking mid. And now that you bring
Mm,
that up, you start looking at him and Awu and Edward and Jokori can get up the pitch a little bit. They will have a threat at home at some times. But I
mm,
still think that our pressing game is really good when it's done right, and that will just keep Eze
yeah.
at bay. Right, he'll be around chasing balls from us spreading the ball out wide,
Mm,
defensively a bit. So, but again, you bring up a very good player. If they can nick a ball and get up the pitch, he will score. He will put one past
he was
Ramsdale. I think
cool.
Ramsdale's going to start. And so
Yeah,
you go, Tony. You
yeah,
start to bring in
exactly.
more of these players, and I start to lose my confidence even more, right? Because I know that there's powerful players, and right, and honestly, I think everyone here in the chat, and of course you, Tony, knows that if you're a Premier League team, you still have a chance, no matter what, right? You
Yeah,
still have a chance to beat a top club. You're in the league. You have decent players. You have a manager that can somewhat organize you, right? There's been several seasons where we've seen many clubs beat any club at any time. We saw it a lot last season, right, with Chelsea being the victim of that. But I think that and it's also really early, right? So there's the chance that hey, we may screw up today and lose this 1-0, 2-1, right? A draw would
yeah.
be catastrophic and a loss would be catastrophic. So that goes against
Catastrophe,
the
man.
pressure that Arteta is putting on the players. If he's telling them to do their job, be smart, concentrate, don't make mistakes, press hard, and just push,
Press
push, push,
hard.
you will win the game. They
We will
won't
win
have
the game. Yeah, that's for
they won't
sure.
have players
Do you really see Edward? Do you really see Edward bringing in the heat today? Edward and Ayu,
I think I
of
think
course,
Edward
Edward. He
with
scored in the last game against Sheffield United, giving them their
right.
only win at least this season for now. But again, do you really see him bringing in the heat against our back right now? Just like we started when we were starting the show, we don't know about our back four right now
Right.
about it because I saw Thomas Partey at right back match. Yeah, I don't know about Gabriel. So all this dynamics, yeah. Do you think Edward uh, is that guy, yeah, that might seek to kind of
Um,
like be physical against these guys and try and cause disarray in the heart of our defense?
yeah, I mean,
Him and
I
Heidi.
would consider him a top striker, right? I mean, he's good, but I wouldn't consider him great. I don't think he's a type of striker, even if his Arsenal wouldn't take us to a Champions League, right? Um, but he will, he's a Frenchman. He knows Saliba. He's going to cause Saliba problems.
Mhm,
And if
mhm, mhm.
Gabriel's in there, Gabriel's playing, which it looks like I saw in the chat, he might be on the bench again for some strange reason.
Yeah,
But I think he's the type of player. He's physical, he's strong, like you said, Tony, and he has a shot on him. I don't think he's the fastest or most agile, striker, but that's what they have Iwu
mhm.
for. Edouard can hold the ball, get the ball in the wing wide to Iwu while he cuts invertedly and puts it in the far post. We've
Exactly,
seen them do this against other
exactly.
teams, but against
And
worse
mind you, they
defense.
also have Schlop.
So he was a
Schlop is also
great
running in
defender.
and cutting in from the left. Also,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
also have
yeah.
Schlop
They
also
have some
who cuts in
options.
from the left. Mm.
But Edouard on set pieces. So that, like I was saying before, I think on Jess's show yesterday, my real worry is set pieces. When they get in and around the 18-yard box, when they have the ball at 24 yards out, and they just sort of loop one in. Edouard could probably jump higher than Saliba. They're probably, I think he's a little more
Yeah,
physical than Saliba. They're both French. They both know each other, obviously. Um, and so I think that's going to be a good matchup today with Saliba and Edouard, and it'll really kind of show us if
yeah,
Saliba can really where he's really at in this preseason, especially early
yeah.
season coming off the back injury, right? And and that's a kind of a thing that's in my back of mind too with Saliba. I always think that back injuries never really go away. It's just a matter of time until you aggravate that muscle again in that certain spot, right? So we'll see what
Mm.
Saliba's fitness levels like, but and Award will challenge
Fitness
that.
level is like, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Award will
exactly.
challenge that.
Man, I do share in that idea. I don't really think Edward is the best striker
Right.
out there to really cause Arsenal problems. But on a good day, when he's you know, when he's a little bit excited on a good day, and if you do give him that chance, he's that kind of striker that will, hit the ground running and like to get one or two fast breaks here and there. He's not maybe the fastest player out there, but he's that kind of player that can do
True.
lots of hold up play. Yeah, he can
Yeah,
outmuscle
exactly.
players. He's that kind of guy, and you never see him when he's running, from your back or just running through your defense because he's this kind of like smallish kind of guy, but still, maybe not the biggest in height. That's what I mean. Yeah, but it's quite physical. So you know, Saliba might be in for one or two brushes today.
Yeah.
Are you? We do know what are you bringing is fast, is pacing. Maybe with age now, it might have gone down a little bit. But he's that
Right.
kind of player that could genuinely cause you problems when you leave him to operate in that right hand side. Those fast breaks when Arsenal do indeed go mostly in this inverted nature. This is where Zichenko might be so important today. See, we have lots of options since Julian Timber is injured right now. We have Tomiyasu who could come down to that place. We have Kivio who could come and play in that right left back position. We also have Zichenko who could come in and play in that scenario. Say, Oregon
Yeah.
Guna, where do you pitch your tent?
Say again. I think you broke up, buddy.
Oregon Guna, where do you pitch your tent for the left back position today?
Left back position for me, my man KT, but he's not going to get that spot, is he? No, I think
This is not going to get it at all.
if we eliminate Kieran Tierney out of the equation, and if he does go with the back four, I would have to give it to Zinchenko because that's again part of the blueprint that we followed last season that brought us success, right?
Hmm.
Even though we saw Zinchenko, I think at the end of the season really, really drop off, especially in the Liverpool game with the nutmeg from Trent, not getting back on a couple of goals. I think for West Ham or Southampton it was. Um, but I think there will. But that's noted, right? I think even Arteta knows that he effed up, right? Zinchenko knows he
Yeah,
messed up. Arteta knows he messed up. We all as Arsenal fans know he messed up. And the thing is, though, is that he was really, really good at the beginning of last season. So I want to follow that blueprint still. If KT's not going to play, He's obviously my next choice at left back with Timber out. And again, I
Mm.
don't even know if Timber's a left back because all I know is he's played right back and center back. So I don't know what the hell
He's
he's doing
played
at left back.
everywhere. He's played everywhere.
That's another story,
He's
right?
played
So
everywhere. Mm.
so yeah, if we can get Zinchenko inverted and make some decent passes, we'll win this. And we'll if we can press them and not let them get out of their half for most of the game, and we can just press for a goal, we'll win it. We'll win the game. But what I get worried at again, Tony, is just the mistakes and the set pieces. I don't want to see Tomiyasu even on the bus. Uh, Tomiyasu to me is dead food, dead food, dead food, fam. Just not just not up to the level. I think Tony's paused again, so how embarrassing is it being the only one talking? Big up. Oh, there's Tony back. Oh, almost back. There he is.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I'm back.
oh,
I'm back. I
that's
don't
what you
know
mean, bro.
some
I don't want to
connection
see Tomiyasu
problems on
on the
here,
bus.
but yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want
See,
Tomiyasu.
yeah. Who starts? Who starts and leads the line for us today? Are you of the idea that Trossard should come in? What
Yeah,
does this guy have to do to get a sniff in this team, my
that's a really
brother,
good
man?
question. That's a
Can
good
he
question.
breathe? Can he get some chance to feed? Can he get some chance to knock it about with the
Let
boys?
a brother eat.
What is going on here? What does this guy have to do to get into this team? In the mock-up game we
Mm,
played, he scored 2 goals. There's goals in this guy. We know he has a character.
yeah,
We know he can play. We know he's a dangerous player. We know he can dribble through defenders. We know he's tricky with his feet. We know he can play across all three forward roles in a team. He can do this.
yep,
Yeah. And mind you, he is Mikel Arteta's signing. What
yep.
does this guy have to do to have a sniff in that team, my brother? Do you see him starting today?
He doesn't have to do anything because he's been doing it since he came to the club. There's nothing he needs to do extra. There's nowhere, he's given 100% so far when he's given the chance to play. Again, this is an Arteta ego thing. I think he
Hmm.
sees Trossard is coming off the bench to get that goal to win us the game, right? Or get us that goal to tie up the game. Well, how about you play
Yeah,
him first to get 2 or 3 goals, possibly maybe a brace, which is more realistic, right? Against a lower level club, and then take him off. Like, why not start him? I don't like if he starts, I can almost guarantee Tony we will get a goal in the first half. Like,
exactly.
I would bet money on that. That if he starts up
I'm
front,
sure.
we would get a goal in
I'm
the first
sure.
half.
I'm sure.
From what we've seen so far, and that's I'm basing it on facts and data, what my own eyes have seen. The guy
Hmm.
is a baller. I
He's a
don't care if he's
baller.
up front. I don't. I would like Trossard up front or Martinelli up front on the left
Hmm.
and intertwine them, right? Martinelli can play up front. I know some people are like, he can play up front.
He can.
He can
He
play
can
up
do
front.
it.
He can get in the
He-
box and he can score goals. Trossard can do the same thing. But I don't know what Arteta is holding back.
but again,
I don't
again,
get
again, what do you think is really the problem? Because this guy is also Mikel Arteta signing in his own right. He's not
but
Unai Emery's spy. Yeah, he's not Arsene
yeah,
Wenger's spy. Yeah, let's get that correctly. Yeah,
right.
it's his signing. Endsman TV just came into
Yeah.
the show. Big ups to Endsman TV. Me and him might be doing something. The Liverpool guy, he has a good show. On YouTube Space. Endsman TV. Go subscribe to that guy. Great guy, Liverpool fan. He does lots of work. He works hard. Yeah, guys, go check him out. BX Gunner is also in the house. Mama Flossie is still here. Amy Baba is still in the house. Po Po Po, welcome to the fray. Mama Flossie is still here. Jet is still here. Longhead Yeti is still here. Wu Fang Division is still here, guys. Say,
Big up
my brother,
everyone.
my brother, what do you think is the problem? Because this guy is Mikelate, the signing. Why
Right.
isn't he getting a chance? If it was Arsene Wenger signing, I would say, okay, he's trying to phase this Arsene Wenger's players out like he did Granit Xhaka at the end of the
Mhm.
day, who was also one of his trusted generals in this team.
Right.
Let's get that correctly. Yeah. Unai Emery spies, getting all of
Mm.
them out of the way. Yeah, we get that. But this is your signing. Trossard
Yeah,
is your signing. So
yeah.
why isn't he getting a sniff in this team if
Because
it's his signing?
I think he sees him as an impact player, bringing him on to get that goal. I don't know why he doesn't start him. And that's what I'm saying. It's kind of reverse psychology, Tony. Start the guy, let's get a couple goals out of him, and then take him off in the 65th minute. Why is this so complicated? I don't understand it. I can see the chat
Or do you
now.
think he's injury prone?
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah, Emmy doesn't understand it. BX Gunner doesn't understand it. Why? You know, if we all don't understand it, then there's something Arteta's holding back. And I don't want Trossard to be
okay,
treated
okay,
like
good. Is it that he's
Aubameyang.
having injury?
Aubameyang kind
Is
of
it that
deserved
he's
it in
getting
some ways as
injured?
well.
Is it that he
Could be
is
injured.
injury prone? Because we need to know. And with no
Yeah.
information, we can't understand what's going on. Because I need to understand why we are looking for a striker out there, and then we have a killer in our hands who could score goals, who could put
I
the
don't
ball
know.
at the back of the net, who knows where to score goals, and we're not using him. Frankly,
Well,
it's mind-boggling, right? It's
you could play
mind-boggling.
you
And
could play
today,
a
they're
basic
going to put
four
in
four.
Eddie
Yeah.
doesn't score a goal. We all know Eddie Nketiah is not this killer in front of goal, yeah, but we have one and we're not using it. It becomes a different conversation altogether, Oregon Guna.
Yeah. No, hey, you want to get real basic, you can just do a 4-4-2 with Eddie and Trossard up front. You know, we have
How
the
about that?
potential to do that. We could go a flat 4-4-2 and have Eddie and Trossard up front. Eddie could tap the ball to Trossard, and Trossard could finish because we know Eddie couldn't finish his damn breakfast. You know,
Mm.
all more power to him. The first game with Forest. Of course, he's going to start today. The lineup is out and already a goal down. So, somebody in the chat, put up the lineup, or Tony, if you have a graphic or something, maybe somebody's got the lineup to type it in. Oh,
Mm.
looks like Jazz has got it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's get a line.
See, Oregon Guna. See, yeah. I want to put you in the game now. Yeah. Let me put
Is
you in
that the
this
lineup,
game.
Jazz? Well,
Is the lineup out yet?
or is that Jez? Is that your desired lineup, Jez?
No, no, the lineup is
Alex
not out yet.
BX Gunner says it. He can kickstart his career tonight. He can, and you know, I know we've bagged on the guy. And I'm trying to give him somewhat of the benefit of the doubt, BX Gunner, but I just don't see it yet. He has to
Yeah.
be at number 10, BX Gunner. He has to come in for Odegaard. You
Mm.
know, I
Mm.
just they're two similar players. If we're
They are
playing
two similar
Havertz
players.
and a 4-3-3 on the left, we're expecting him to do Granit Xhaka things. He's not going to do Granit Xhaka things. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
if we see him
Exactly.
up front, if it comes on in the 60th minute for Eddie, maybe
Mm.
that's good. I mean, it's still. I think the jury's still out on Kai Havertz, right? I mean, he
Yeah,
had
the
a,
jury's out. I'm giving him
you know,
10
it really
games
is. It's
to
still
prove
really early
himself this
season.
season. He has 10
Right,
games from me to prove himself this season.
right,
10
right. You've said
games.
that before.
One is out. 9 more games. He has to prove himself why he's in this team. After that 10 games,
Right.
I would have already come to my conclusion about him. See, yeah, in the mock-up game against Luton, yeah,
Mm,
David Raya came into the fray. Let me put you in the game now, Oregon Guna, yeah? David Raya, we won that game against Luton 3-0. And I heard, because that game was played under closed doors, yeah? Let's
right,
get that correctly,
right.
yeah? I heard his distribution was impeccable in that matchup. That's
Yeah,
what
I
my
heard that.
guys, my people are telling me from London, yeah? The guy watched it.
I think you skipped a little bit there, Tony. David Ray. Okay, David Ray, Luton.
Yeah. So do
Oh,
you want
David
to
Ray.
see, because I heard his distribution was impeccable. Do you want to see him coming to the team today?
Um, that's a good question. I don't really care. I think both keepers are pretty class. I don't really have an opinion about that, to be honest, because I think Ramsdale was phenomenal last season. I mean, he was man of the match. How many games? I mean, God, I think 7, 8, 9, maybe.
Hmm.
And David Ray, a great signing. I think the statistics show that he's better than Ramsdale at a lot of things. Right? We've seen the green bars and the red bars and all that contradictory information. I don't really care who starts, to be honest, Tony. I think both keepers are really good, and hopefully give confidence, to the rest of the club, right? Because to the rest of the team. As many of you have played before. If you don't have confidence in your keeper, that kind of
Yeah.
sticks in your mind a bit, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that. Oh, it looks like Jez has got the lineup. Oh dear God. Oh God, please tell me
I've
Todd
just
and
gotten
Eric
the lineup.
are not the same. Jesus Christ. Oh gosh. Sorry, I'm getting off subject, but no, I think the Luton Town is the game closed doors. I didn't see anything of it. Heard it was good. Great. I expect to beat Luton 3-0. But going back to
Hmm.
the David Raya thing, Tony, he's the only signing we've made since July 15th. It's been over a month since we've signed an outfield player.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That's why I'm not
Great,
confident this season.
great question.
We need more backup. It's been over a month since we've announced Declan Rice, and we've brought in David Raya on loan. Not a striker, not a winger, not, looks like another left back that we need, maybe,
Hmm.
unless we keep Kieran Tierney. So just think of that for a minute. We haven't signed a player in over a month. And I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
There's deals out there right now.
Yeah.
What happened to Kudus, right?
There's
That was a big
there's deals to be made. There's deals to
yeah.
be made. See, do you want to see us left full back and right full because he can play both sides? Do you want to see him coming to the football club?
Who are you talking about now?
Yao Cancelo.
Yes, but I know he's going to
I'm
Barcelona.
talking about Yao Cancelo.
Bring him in. He's fantastic. He had a great season at Man City.
I heard that Barcelona can't put the money up.
I think that deal's done, bro. I think he's going to Barcelona. I think that's pretty much done. So no, I would bring him in for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's
you
class.
don't
He's
think
a good player.
we're going to spend on an outfield player this summer again? Is that
I
what you're
think
saying?
it's not looking like we will, but there may be one trick up the sleeve, maybe a couple days before the window closes. God, that's a good question. I'm really 50-50 on that, Tony, because I do think there's some opportunity still in the window, and I'm sure there's 2 or 3 players we're looking at we could probably nick before the end of the window. Kudos maybe being one of them. I know that Laporte's gone to Saudi Arabia now, but I think Kudos would be a good signing, to be honest, from
Yeah,
Ajax.
but I heard that Kudus is more linked to West Ham these days
I heard that
than
too.
Arsenal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
that's what I
seems
heard.
weird. And I've heard something about Ivan Toney was on a podcast and
Yeah,
big
Ivan
up
Tony was on a
Arsenal,
podcast.
and
Yeah, and
you know,
he kind of like echoed
if he,
Arsenal, that
yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
a
if he
thing.
joins
So
if he joins in January, I'll definitely be in the mud because
I'll take it,
I've
man.
definitely said that we are not signing Ivan Toney. I've said that in many shows that I just don't think that's going to happen. I think there's
Hmm.
too much history between Tony and Arsenal, to be honest. He's talking shit about us on Twitter. Arteta's firing back at him and all or nothing. I just don't think the personality wise. Now talent wise, I would sign him up tomorrow. I think he would
Yeah.
be a top player for Arsenal. But I just think that Edu is so diluted in some of his thinking, and Arteta, I think they're kind of looking past Tony, right? I think he's
No. We
kind of
have to look past it.
maybe.
If people wanted to go give 100 million to Tottenham
Ooh,
Hotspur to bring in Kane to Arsenal, why shouldn't we be talking about Ivan Tony? We
yeah,
wanted the enemy in our team, so
yeah.
I don't see any reason why we can't get
If,
such an ambitious striker like Ivan
correct.
Tony to come
If,
in.
if
Yeah,
I'm wrong,
because
I'm in the
literally,
mud.
I interviewed some
I'm for
Arsenal
it.
fans. They said they would go right now to go get Harry Kane
Oh
from
yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur. So
Oh,
if we are that shameless, then let's show we are shameless. Let's put it like
yeah.
cards on the table. Yeah, go bring Ivan Tony January. But you know what? Yeah, if let's say that Arsenal goes ahead, yeah, with this
Yeah.
Ivan Tony plan for January,
Okay.
will you see it as a necessary excuse for us not getting a striker right now?
Yes,
Would that be a
because
necessary excuse
it would be.
for you
It would be.
if you're looking
It
at
would.
it from that angle that okay,
Yeah.
January is going to come in, now we can see why we didn't get a striker. Does that
If
work for
that's the
you?
plan, then then I'm even more pissed off at Arteta than I should be because the January window is to enhance the squad. The
Yeah.
January window is to fill gaps in the squad that you see as a manager and as director of football. That's
Yeah.
what the January window's for. It's not that, oh, we're not getting them this summer because we don't want to, but because we want to pay more in January, which a lot of clubs do pay more in January. You always pay more in January. That's a known fact. You're always going to pay
Yeah.
3 or 4 or 5, maybe 10 million more, right? Because you're taking a club away from a midseason. It makes sense. If I'm the club that you're trying to take my player from, you're damn right I'm going to jack the price up 5, 6 million in the January
Definitely, man.
window. So maybe that turns Tony into a $40 to $45 million player, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. He's
no,
within that range,
no,
50, 50, 55.
no. He's a $30 to $35 million striker. I'm
I
tired
know,
of
but in the
paying.
markets right now, and it's
Right?
English, but in
No,
the
if
market
we're
right now,
like,
come
well,
on, man.
I
You
mean,
just
listen,
dropped
like what I'm saying,
55
Tony.
for
Listen,
Kai Havertz.
why
You
would
dropped
we? Why would
55 for
we?
Kai Havertz. Do you
Why would we
trust the
prepare?
Arsenal negotiators to go in and get Ivan Toney for 30, 35? It's not possible. I don't trust them to go close that deal for
Right,
35 million pounds. I expect them to do
Brentford
50,
won't do that
50,
deal.
55 tops.
But that's what I'm saying. There's other strikers I'd rather pay 50 million for, right?
Hmm.
Why
Yeah.
why not spend the money now? Spend it now. Let's if we decide on Ivan Tony, I'm in the mud, fair enough. But I know he's a
Hmm.
decent player. But to me, again, he's kind of a stopgap player, right? He's kind of one of those players where, oh, we need a striker. Let's just get someone who's available, slot him in, and see what happens.
Slot him in, yeah.
Bullshit.
And he's
I
a
call
traditional
bullshit on that. That
striker.
is not a
He's a
strategy.
traditional striker.
That's Southern Gooners hope strategy. Let's hope that he works out. I'm fucking, excuse my French, I'm done fucking hoping. I'm done hoping. I want results. And Ivan Tony, if we bring him in today, would probably give us a good boost. But the fact of the matter is, we're not bringing him in this window because if we're planning for January, then we're already shooting ourselves in the foot
In the
between
foot.
now and January. It makes no sense. If we would have gotten him, we would have announced him in July. If he was a priority for Arsenal, we would have probably purchased him in July. And
Yeah.
again, we've got a month now without an outfield signing. If there's some surprise or some trick they have up in their sleeve, I would let the trick out now because another
Exactly.
week against United could be the player that we needed to help us win that game. Because right now,
Mm.
my confidence against United is not all that great. They do look shit, but that's not to say they can't turn it on against Arsenal, which they usually do.
Which
I
they
mean,
usually do.
so why if this so going back to your question, Tony, a bit, if the strategy is to get Tony in, wasting time till January makes no sense. And I
It makes
realize
no sense.
he's got legal issues to go through now, right? But you could sign him now and then have him ready in January instead of going through the whole rigmarole of all the hype and link bullshit between now and January about Ivan Tony, if they're even true, to just not have it happen in January and the deal fall apart or deteriorate because number one, Brentford won't want to necessarily do business with us because we just gypped their keeper for 10 million less than they were going to get at Chelsea or Tottenham. So Brentford's probably not going to want to do many deals with Arsenal, in the near future. But with that said, if we get Ivan Tony in January and he scores some goals and gets us a title, I'm in the mud. We have Ivan Tony, and life is good. If he's going to get us the title, that's all I care about.
See, yeah, Oregon Gunnar, no one is in the mud. You're not in the mud. No one is in the mud. Provided he comes in and gives Arsenal the title, I don't care. See, I'm shameless. I don't care wherever we get the title from. I need a goddamn title. So I don't care
Yeah,
where we'll go get the striker. To be very fair, the striker market right now, it's a little bit, going through its downturn, its low turns.
sure.
Yeah, you can't
Right.
actually see a striker out there right now that you can confidently say, okay, I'll bring him for 65 million pounds, 55 million pounds, and he'll come hit the ground running. You don't know. Even a
Right.
Victor Osimhen might be a good striker, but we
Hmm.
do know that this league is a humbler. We're not too sure.
Right.
We can only make this type of blueprint with players who have actually played in the Premiership, who
Hmm.
understand the Premiership. And you know what? Ivan Tony is that guy that ticks the whole boxes. Is he a traditional kind of striker like the Andy Coles of the Manchester United? Yeah. Is he that kind of striker? The answer is yes. He's a fox in the box. He's that kind of guy that will handle the ball, hold the play perfect. He's a bully. He's strong, physical in nature. He knows the back of the net. That's the kind of striker that I think Arsenal deserves. and needs right now because we have a number 9 who doesn't do anything,
Mm,
yeah, in terms of being in the box, ready to get onto those loose balls and latch onto them and score goals. I'm talking of Gabriel Jesus
for
is
sure.
out there linking up play, bringing attacking outsets together, which on a good day, it's a very, very good thing. But that's if you're playing with two strikers. But right now, he's not there. He's injured. He's not a fox in the box. The highest goal tally he scored is 15 at Manchester City. I'm sorry, Oregon Gunner. I know I'm cooking, yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't care. I really need a trans. See, I need Ivan Tony by January. How about that? I need
Okay.
Ivan Tony by
Hey,
January.
if when Jesus gets fit, and we bring Ivan Tony in, and we play a 4-4-2 with Ivan
Oh,
Tony and Jesus up front.
oh,
Yes,
oh,
I
oh,
know. Jesus just
oh,
off the
oh.
left a little bit, maybe linking up with Martinelli and Tony. I know it makes woof. Yeah,
It makes
I just yeah.
oh,
I
it makes
Jesus is a
perfect
tough
sense,
one.
man.
Hey, Jesus is a tough one because you know he's going to come right back in, and if he
Mm,
replaces Eddie, fantastic. But
yeah,
we still want to see Trossard up there,
yeah,
right? Trossard is the guy we need up front. He, like we said, he can score, he can hold the ball, he can pass, he can do cross, he can do little flicks and dinks and tiki takas and all the fun stuff, right?
yeah. All this
Um,
fun stuff, yeah, yeah,
but
exactly,
but at this,
exactly.
but he just needs to be given a chance. And I'm sure that he is very. I don't know. I don't want to say angry, maybe
Mm,
upset that he's sitting on the bench. He has to be upset that he's sitting on the bench because he
yeah,
would never sit the bench at Brighton, even if he didn't. Even if he had a falling out with Deserby, but they were
yeah,
ready, but they reconciled. Let's say he never. Let's just say, for instance, he never came to Arsenal. He would be playing in Brighton squad right now
mm.
because he
See,
would have
I get that.
either came down with Deserby. He would be a starter at Brighton right now.
Right now, right? See, there's this news coming out from the Arsenal camp. In fact, it just filtered through this evening. Oregon
Mm,
Gunnar, I need to tackle it before we start
right.
talking about predictions for this game. See, Nikolai Pepe,
Mm.
Arsenal's. Oh my God, should this guy be called?
Okay.
See,
Yes.
whatever. See, he was bought for 72
Amen.
million pounds. Yeah, let's just get that correctly.
Right.
Yeah, I heard today that Mikel Arteta sought a meeting with himself, Edu, and Nikolai Pepe's camp, and Nikolai Pepe himself today.
Oh,
Put his arm around Nikolai Pepe and is talking about him staying because other clubs are rejecting
yeah.
Nikolai Pepe. So
Finding
he's
him right.
putting his arm around him and probably wants him to stay. Do you accept this scenario right now,
Yeah,
Oregon
this would
Gunner? Do
really
you
be out
accept it?
of.
Do you want to see our 72 million flop come back into the fray? Tells Mikel Arteta I'm sorry, kisses the ring, bows down to Mikel Arteta. Just bow down, yeah. Of which
Fuck
he is
that.
likely to have done that, yeah. Bow down the ring, come back into the fold, and it's as if nothing ever happened. Do you think that's the trajectory, right?
Um, I saw this news this morning while I was eating my cereal. I was pretty shocked. Um, Pepe's a $50 million player. Remember, we got 22 million stolen from us by Raul Solani when he was director of football at Arsenal.
Yeah.
So Pepe's never been a $72 million player. Granted, that's what we paid for him and got ripped off.
Good.
With that said, you you have to give a player a chance. In my eyes, he never ever got a fair shake when he first signed for the club. Unai Emery, right? Was it Emery's signing? I believe. I think it was one of Emery's first signings. He
Yeah.
never, in my feeling, got a fair
Yeah.
shake
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the formation I wanted then was a 4-3-3 with Alba on the left, Lacazette at top, and Pepe on the right. And we saw that like one game. One game, we saw Lacazette, Alba, and Pepe lead the line. Only one game. And then Emery falls out, goes back to Spain, goes to Villarreal or Sevilla, and Arteta just sort of pushes Pepe
Yeah.
aside, pushes him out, right? Pushes him to Nice. He goes back to France, his home country, right? And Nice don't even want him. And if I'm wrong about Nice, I'm sure it's Nice in the chat. Somebody remind me if there's a different French club. So, with regards to Pepe, bring him back. Bring him back. Just bring him back. We need speed. We need pace. He can he can absolutely lash a ball into the back of the net. We saw that against
Yeah.
Chelsea, I think, in the FA Cup final. There was a goal he scored. I'm sure you saw this, Tony. That was called offside, where he came in the box out of nowhere and lashed that left-footed shot against Chelsea. It was called offsides. It was our first goal we scored in that FA
Mm.
Cup final. He came in there like a flash and buried a goal. It was
Yeah.
offsides because somebody was offsides. But I'll never forget that goal. That he just nailed it. And what did he do after that? He scored a goal after that. Pepe can score goals. He can score goals of free kicks. We saw that against West Ham, I think, a couple seasons ago, where he scored a worldie against them.
Yeah.
He's fast with the ball, but he falls over a
He
lot,
can dribble. He can hold up.
right?
Yeah.
But he can spin his way out of trouble. He sees the through ball pass. He has
Yeah.
good vision. I don't know why he's been treated the way he is, but again, I
Mm.
think he's also been mismanaged, right?
Mm.
Maybe he
Mm.
played all right.
Okay.
Maybe you
Let's
know
look at the
what? We don't know. But bring him in. At this
lineup.
point,
See,
I'm
the
agreeable
lineups
because
did
we need
not
to get
come
the
out
idea.
when we were actually having. Now the lineups are out. Yeah, the
Oh,
lineups are out.
yes,
See,
Gunner.
uh, see, Oregon Gunner. The lineups are out. What do you think about the lineup? Kai Havertz. I told you he likes this guy. He's never gonna put him on the bench. So Kai Havertz starting,
Where's my
Martinelli
lineup? I
starting,
don't
Eddie
have get it
Nketiah
on my
starting,
phone.
Thomas Partey starting, Ramsdale of course. Behind the stick. Also
What's the
at the
lineup
right,
exactly?
Saliba, Tomiyasu, Ben White.
Tommy Asu over.
Uh, uh, Ben White at central defense and Thomas Partey at left back. Can you believe this?
It's Party, White, and Tomiyasu.
See, this was what I was talking about. This was what I was
This is
talking about. I wanted to dodge it because I wanted to dodge it, but Jets put it in the chart, so there's no how I could run away from it. Jets blew the
right.
cover. Yeah, I wanted to dodge it, but Jets put it down there while we're not talking about the lineup. So we just have to talk about it. See, it's uninspiring. Thomas Partey at left back.
Oh, now Tom is. Oh, Jess says it's changing now. So
So
Tom
it's
is.
a 4-3-3. It's a 4-3-3.
Okay.
Saliba and White in
Oh,
centre back.
Saliba. Okay.
Tomiyasu at right back. Thomas Partey at left back. Havertz a left centre midfield.
Of
Rice
course.
tucked in the middle in the CDM role. Martin Odegaard, of course,
Right.
in that midfield trio. Saka on the right. Eden Nketiah leading the line with the front three with Martinelli.
That's what we predicted. We didn't predict Tomiyasu. Don't tell me.
Wow.
No. Ivan Tony is not a $60 million striker. Maybe in this inflated market, Eddie is the GOAT. Zinni best.
Man, what do you think about this lineup, first of all?
Up, Andrew.
Does this lineup inspire fear?
No, I don't. I don't see what the. What it tells me is Gabriel Margalis is on a plane to Saudi Arabia. Is what it tells me. See you, Gabriel Margalis. It's been great. It's been a great run. You're a top Brazilian defender. You're top. You're in the Brazilian national team. Ancelotti's placed you right there, but you can't get in Arteta's team. It's fucking
Okay, see. Edin Ketia is leading
God,
the
bro.
line
It's
again.
like Tommy
See,
Asu. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
it's mad. It's mad. Okay, good. Edin Ketia is leading the line again. It, because Jez have just said now in the chart here that Edin Ketia is leading the line again. Is it fair to put Edin Ketia in this conversation?
No.
Will you say he should be playing? Of course, he got a goal in our last match. Should he be playing this match?
No. Why is Trossard not starting?
Not starting.
It makes no sense, Tony. Chad, why is Eddie Nketiah giving chance after chance? He gave a chance. He scored a great header against, or tapped in one against United to win, beat us 3-2. He went on a fucking dry spell after that. And then he scored, what, 2 or 3 goals at the end of last season. He went 7 games. Remember, we were doing contrast to Eddie and Mudryk. 0
Yeah.
goals, 0 assists, 0 goals, 0 assists, week after week after week. Why does he have the number 14? Why does he get $100,000 a week? If he scores a hat trick today, then of course I'll eat my words. Fair enough. But he isn't good enough for Arsenal Football Club.
So wait. He scored last week. He scored last week. So he shouldn't be getting a sniff this week.
He shouldn't even be on the starting 11, Tony.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to play.
I know this.
Arsenal needs to be on the bench.
Gabriel Jesus is injured. So how do we go through that?
Up front or Martinelli. They're both better. 60 million. Okay. Sure, an inflated market, 60 million. I just,
man.
You know, it's right.
Man,
I guess that's fair for Tony when he's going to be in jail for 6 months and not kicking a football. What he did in the past doesn't always mean he's, you know. But
well, see, well,
not
for me,
the best 11.
Well, look at how I look at it. Yeah, Eddie Nketiah scored last week. Let him get his start. No problem. Let him get the start. Let's see what he. Let's see. See, football is a humbler. Yeah, because you have to show it. You have to show up at the end of the day. There's no hiding space. The Premiership is back. Yeah, no hiding space. He scored last week. Good. He gets a sniff this week. So let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. I have no words until I see that game today. This game today will open up a lot of things I want to see. I want to see Kai Havertz show up. I want to see Eddie Nketiah show up also. So let's see. This Tomiyasu thing might come back to bite us on the foot, but let's just see. What would you say about Crystal Palace starting 11? They have Edouard Eze tucked into just behind Edward down there. Schlupp, of course, in the right. Ayew on the left. Lemar Decore. They have Gaethje and they have Anderson centre back pairings, and of course they do have Mitchell in that right back position, and of course Ward in the left back position. What will you say? Pretty much the same team that played against Sheffield United.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it except for the physical aspect of it and set pieces. You know, and now I'm worried that Tomiyasu is going to make a mistake like he did against Man City. You know, and Tomiyasu's mistake prone. You know, he's had some good games though, right? But when you look at this strong,
well, is he match fit? Is he match fit though? That's another thing. Is he match fit to play? Is he fit enough to play? Has he gotten to a certain fitness level to be able to man that right? That right? Oh my God!
Right against Ayew, right? Awu's on the left against Tomiyasu on our right. I don't feel confident right there. I don't know what Gabriel Margalhaes is. If he's injured, they need to say he's injured.
You know, see, even BX Gunner was laughing when I was talking about this on my show. I said something is wrong. Something is wrong with Gabriel Margalhaes. But no one believes me. No one, right now, we can see what's happening. No one believed me when I talked about this on my show. That maybe there's something about this Saudi Arabian links. Oregon, you were there in the charts when I was talking about this.
Yeah.
People were laughing when I was talking about. Now it's laid bare to see. This is it. Yeah. Gabriel Margalhaes not in our starting 11. In our first 2 games of the start of the season.
It's like he's either he's on a plane to Saudi Arabia or Arteta's just taking the piss. I mean, he was literally in the top 5 best defenders in the Premier last season.
What is this?
He was very good in preseason. I think the Bozo gene happened once. Somebody got through. He kicked the ball. But Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking.
Okay,
I don't know
Amy
what he's
Baba
thinking.
is saying something in the charts. Has he fallen off with the manager?
Maybe that's what Hendon's saying. Maybe. Maybe. But if he's following up the manager, the best thing for him to do is to look out for his career and his family and get on a plane to Saudi Arabia. If that's what he, if that's where the big is coming in,
Oh my
you
God.
know. But if they're off, I mean, and then it comes to the point, Tony, where let me ask you: if they offer 110 million for Gabrielle, do you turn that down? Because it's going to
That's
be close
another
to the
thing.
100 million mark
That's
for
another
sure.
thing. But again, you need to ask yourself: is Gabriel Magalhaes that guy? Is he that guy in the middle of our defense?
He is
Is he
that guy.
indispensable? That's the question you have to.
At
It's
this
not
point
about
in time, I
100
think so.
million that
Yes,
Saudi Arabia will give him.
I,
You have to ask
bro.
your question: Is
I,
is Gabriel Magalhaes an indispensable player as a centre back in this
yeah,
Arsenal team? And the truth
you
is, we do know he comes with the Bozo Gen. We do know this. He comes with
right,
that Bozo Gen. He's a
right.
good, extremely good player. I do like him, but the, for me, it's confusing right now, man.
Well,
I
I
don't know
think
how about you. I can't answer that question. That's a tough
it,
one.
right. It's very tough, and that's the thing. We haven't really got. Let's say tomorrow we hear that there's an official bid from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Right, anything 100 under, let's say 90 mil, I think would be a ripoff. We're talking about again one of the top five players, defenders in the Premier League. So I think and then his value to Arsenal is he's probably so him and Saliba are the first two on the sheet, right? You got to build defensively. You build from the back up. So in my eyes, Gabriel and Saliba are your two. They're the spine of the defense. Of course, he starts. He's supposed to start every game. We have the Brazilian contingency, right? We have the Gabs, and we have Jorginho, who I know is Italian, but he's Brazilian, right? Um, and who else do we have as Brazilian? Maybe a couple other players. I don't know. What's his
What
name?
has Gabriel done?
So
What
we
has
have
Gabriel done?
Edu's the
What has
Brazilian
Gabriel
guy. Why
done
is our
to
Brazilian center back leaving? What's going on? It make if Edu's
what
the
has
Brazilian
Gabriel
guy,
done?
why is our Brazilian center back leaving? Why?
Wow. I
Why?
can't believe this,
Edu's
man.
the guy. Right? If Edu's the guy, why the fuck is Gabriel leaving? If if the Brazilian connection is as strong as it's supposed to be, why is he's leaving, bro? He's got to be leaving. There's no reason to drop him unless he's injured, and there's no injury report, none.
Tony
As far
Ibarra
as
says
that goes,
Arteta has lost the plot. My brothers, man. I don't know.
Hayden Good said it hasn't
See,
fallen
I
out.
can't even talk. I'm shocked at this team sheet, man. No Gabriel in the set. This was what I was talking about. That we don't know our back four. We do not see. Let's go to the predictions because we have to go into that matchup.
Okay, go.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to be too. I don't want to be
We got Manny,
negative. Let's see what comes. Oh my
Manny
god,
in the chat.
this is incredible, man. I can't believe this.
Why
Ateta
not?
in full sabotage mode. That's the
Right,
from the Hendon Gunner
right.
is
And,
here.
and, and let me,
Hendon
let me ask you, Tony, you know why it's sabotage? That's a good point, Hendon. It's sabotage because he wants to win the games where he gets the praise for the style that he put out there, right? It's about Arteta praise. It's not about the starting 11. If you win the league with Thomas Partey at right back, that's all your critics will be talking about, right? So he's making these moves to get the attention on him in some way, shape, or form. Who's calling me? So, shit. So and it's pure ego. What other
It's
team, what
ego
other
at this stage. It's ego.
Atletico Madrid, would you ever see Diego Simone put Thomas Partey at right back? And he maybe has once or twice, so please don't kill me in the chat.
What is
But in
this?
reality, he's never put Thomas Partey at right back. Thomas Partey is probably so confused right now. And you have two physical players in Lirma and Decore, and you don't put Thomas Partey in the middle of midfield?
What is this?
What is
Man,
this? He's going to
I'm
exert the defense. I
dumbfounded
mean,
here, man.
what
I
is
can't
going
believe what
on?
I'm
What is
seeing.
going on? I'm already upset, dude.
I can't
I'm
believe,
already
and this is why when I saw the team sheet, I didn't want to go into it because, of course, just for the matchup,
yeah.
uh, but just opened that kind of worms in the
Yeah,
chat,
yeah,
so we just had to
my
go
man.
into it. See, what's your prediction for this matchup? And let's call it today. TJ
Let's
will
call it
be coming to the watch along. Steve
excellent.
Mahala will be coming to the watch along.
That'll
I'll
be
be there.
fun.
Andrew Bell might be showing up
Nice.
into
Big up, Andrew.
that watch along coming immediately after this show. So guys, yeah, just pop in, and Manny Tangadra. It would be nice to have you on the on the watch along, man. To be nice, man. Come
Yeah,
in
it's
and
gonna
give
be
your two
fun. I'll
cents.
be definitely
Manny
listening.
and I
Um,
miss Manny. I miss Manny, man. I
yeah,
miss Manny. I
I'm,
miss
I'm thinking.
Manny. I
I'm
miss
hoping
his
3-1, Tony.
parliamentary speech and all that, man. Great guy to work with.
I'm
See,
hoping 3-1, bro.
Oregon, what's your prediction for this matchup? You've
I,
seen the
I, I
team sheet. You've seen the
yeah.
lineups. What do you think?
Now that I've seen the team sheet, now that I've seen the team sheet, big up, Hendon. Thank you. Now that I've seen the team sheet, I'm not going to go 3-1. I'm going to go 2-1. I think we're going to freaking squeeze this out like we did with Forest. You know, uh,
Hmm.
I don't know why Trossard cannot get a start. I am just like he's given a start to Tomiyasu. He's given a start who I consider dead food. He's given a start to see who else. Kai Havertz, of course, because you got to justify your 65 million. But he
Yeah.
won't give Trossard a start. Who has the capability of putting us 1-2 goals up in the first half on the form that he's shown. Thank you for the donation, Tony. Very nice.
Thank you, Tony
What
Ibarra. Po, po,
So
po.
what Trossard
Tony
has shown,
Ibarra. $2 for
Trossard
us.
deserves a
Pops.
start. Trossard deserves a start, and this is the
Hmm.
perfect game for him. And Arteta is really he's pushing him away. He's pushing Trossard away. And come summertime, I don't think Trossard's going to go in January, but someone puts in a bid in summertime. La Liga, the top 5 team in La Liga may come after him, or maybe he goes to Spurs. I know we're not going to sell the Spurs. I'm joking, guys.
Oh my God.
I mean, you can't. How can you bring a player in on your own signing that wanted desperately to come to your club, and you pop 30 mil in for him, and then he looks fantastic for the year you have him, and then you sit him on the bench? I don't get it. I'm surprised that
Man.
Tomiyasu is starting, and I'm surprised Trossard is not
Mikel
starting.
Arteta, what are you doing? What are you doing? I can't believe this, man. Seeing this back four, I can't believe this.
Yeah, yeah.
This is shock. See, Oregon Gooder, this is the worst. This is the worst, like kind of like
Mm.
tinkering I've seen in a long time, single-handedly by a coach of Arsenal. I've never seen a coach who tinkers. I like Mikel Arteta because, of course, coming into this football club, because of what he had in place. That was why I give him a chance, because he had to throw a lot of dead wood out. I clearly understand that, but man, he's gone out of his depth with this, man. This is this is this is pride. This is
Yes,
pride. This
it's
is
showing. It's trying to
ego.
prove that I can win it
Ego.
differently. That I can win it with the players that I choose to put in the different variable positions because they're all versatile, and it's him and his ego trying to win something,
It is ego.
doing it differently. Just play the players in their natural positions.
Play them in their natural
Last
positions.
season, and it worked. I just, fuck, man. I mean, how many of us have played FIFA video games? Everybody put their hand up. Pretty much everybody, you, Tony, in the chat, if someone, some place or time, have played Football Manager or played FIFA video games. Here's the thing. You've always put the right players in their normal positions. When have you ever in FIFA put Patrick Vieira at right back?
It doesn't happen.
When did you ever put Thierry Henry at left mid back in the day playing FIFA?
It doesn't happen.
When did someone put
I'm
Andre
just shocked.
Pirlo at left back?
I'm
It makes
shocked this is
no
happening.
sense.
I'm shocked. And you know what, yeah? See, yeah, if Mikel Arteta doesn't get things right in 10 games, I literally see this guy being sacked by January. No, to be sincere, I know it's a long shot, yeah,
Yeah,
but I actually see this guy being sacked by January. Look at the whole tinkering. Like, if
right.
this guy doesn't get us to a position, to an envious position by January, I literally see Mikel Arteta being sacked. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This
Uh,
is tinkering in the
if,
highest
if they
of the
have,
highest order.
bro,
I've
if
never
they
seen
have
tinkering
someone
like this
lined up,
before. Even
Tony,
Roy Hodgson doesn't tinker like this.
no,
Even Pep
but someone
doesn't
who
tinker
did back in
like
the
this.
day and lost it. No, but so back in the day, if you remember, what's his name was the Tinker Man at Chelsea, the guy from Leicester, the Italian guy. Someone help me with the name. When he was at Chelsea, he tinkered a lot, and he cost them, I think, top four a few times. Somebody in the chat, who is the old Italian coach for Leicester that got fired that won him the what was his name? That won him the league. I can't the name slips my mind. But Tony, the tinkering is going to cost us. The tinkering is going to cost us, Tony. Um, and then it makes you think, well, is he tinkering now to play the normal 11 later? Right? Is all this messing around to see where players are at? If that's it, then what the fuck were you doing in preseason? The
Completely
tinkering
different back four in preseason.
tinker. Ranieri, thank you,
And
BX.
in the league, we're
Ranieri
seeing
was
a
the tinker man
different
at
back
Chelsea.
four. Make this make sense. In
It may.
preseason, where you
I'm
meant to make
trying.
lots of
Yeah,
experiments, test out players out of position,
right.
that, all that, rare. Right now, you're doing experiment in the middle of a Premiership season. Is this guy's
Again, but yeah,
thinking
you're right.
capabilities working?
You're right.
Is
Every
his
game counts.
brain
Oh, you're
working?
right.
Well,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the show. We'll allow you guys, soak that up and tell us what you think. What your predictions are for this matchup, please write it down. As you've seen, me and Oregon Gunnar have just given you our best in this preview show. Oregon Gunnar, please say the goodbyes and, of course, just,
Sure.
shout out yourself and tell these people where you will be at.
Well, big up, my bro. Thanks for having me on the show before the match. It's a lot of fun to do a preview. It's always good to see the lineups before you start making any predictions, I guess. But we never know what we're going to get. So, right, it's like Forrest Gump with a box of chocolates. You never know what the hell you're going to get with
Yeah.
Arteta. But yeah, Tony, I feel pretty confident. My original prediction was 3-1. I think I'm going to stick with that. I know you had the lineup and so forth. I said 2-1, but I think I'm going to stick with 3-1. Like I mentioned, if we get the press going, we can press them and we can put some balls in the back of the net. But I am worried on set pieces and when they have possession and the physicality, and hopefully we just fight through that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to go 3-1 today. It's a shambles of a lineup, I think, with Trossard not even getting a start again.
Again.
But to wrap things up, man, again, thank you. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Jez, Wolfgang, Anfield, Uncle Rod,
Jazz, Uncle Rod, Liverpool
Jack,
fan, Uncle Rod, big ups, Wolfgang Division, Longhead Yeti. Yeah, this guy's BX Guna. Yeah, Andrew Bell, big ups to you, man. You
Right.
might
And
be
Andrew,
joining us
for
in
my
the watch
point, he
along.
never got
Many
the
might
top
be
four
coming
with
in.
Chelsea, but he was the Tinker Man because he would tinker.
Yeah,
Claudio Ranieri was the
the
Tinker Man,
Tinker Man.
and he got it all. He got it wrong and cost them, you know, Champions
Oh
League
my
spots,
God.
in the early 2000s. So, it's one of those things. I don't want Arteta to be the next Tinker Man, but I do want to win today. We have to win today. There's no other alternative. A draw and
Yeah,
a
I'm
loss.
going for 2-1. I'm going for 2-1. Let's see.
So,
Yeah, I'm going for 2-1. So let's see.
all right.
Before
Yep.
I was edging towards a draw.
Mm.
Right now, this back four, it's a little bit not it for me. There's no structure. I'm sorry, man.
Well, let's
That's
hope
my
it's split
fear right
rough.
now.
3
I'm
points.
talking about our defenders.
Yeah.
The defensive setup is it's bro. It doesn't make sense to me, man.
Doesn't make sense.
It's bonkers. It doesn't make sense to
It
me.
is.
But will my escape with a 2-1 win? We'll clap for Arteta. Everyone will clap for him, and then we'll forget that this tinkering is of the highest order.
Right.
That's what's going to happen today. But good and okay. Me, I want the win. I want the win. Any way the win comes, I'm shameless about it. I will herald it. Say, Oregon Guna,
Same here.
thanks for coming to the show today, my brother.
A lot of fun as usual.
always,
Yeah.
always a pleasure.
Thanks
Always
everyone
a
in the
pleasure
chat.
doing shows with you, man. Always a pleasure.
Again.
And guys in the chat, catch us up with the watch along today. And thank you, Oregon Gunner, for coming to our show,
Thank you, buddy.
the Dal and Cloud Show. Next week, Monday,
Fantastic.
we'll be back with episode 4. Hopefully, we'll get to talk about, what happened today,
For
on that
sure.
show. So, big ups, man. Big ups. Everyone,
No problem.
me and Oregon Gunner, peace out.